My name is Elise Harper, and when my family toasted their forever home, claiming I'd inherited nothing, I raised my hand. One bid later, I owned it, and the truth was finally mine. In Charleston, South Carolina, my family had lied about my grandfather's will, cutting me out to keep their historic estate. But 2 years later, I wasn't just back. I stood in their driveway holding the deed to the home they thought they'd stolen from me. It began at a family reunion in the grand parlor of our family's 19th-century Charleston home, a low-country mansion with magnolia-shaded porches and wrought iron gates. I was 30, the youngest of 3 siblings, raised by my parents, William and Margaret Harper, who valued appearances over affection. My older brother, Owen, was a financial advisor. My sister, Victoria, ran a boutique PR firm. I was the odd one out, a small business consultant who'd started a side hustle coaching local startups. At the reunion, my parents announced they'd inherited the mansion from my grandfather, Thomas, who'd passed 6 months earlier. "It's our forever home," my mom said, raising a glass. Owen and Victoria smiled, but I noticed their glances. Sharp, exclusive. When I asked about the will, my dad snapped, "You got nothing, Elise. Don't stir trouble." My cousin Natalie smirked. "Some people aren't meant for legacies." The lie stung. My grandfather had adored me, teaching me about Charleston's history and promising I'd share in his estate. I'd helped him maintain the mansion, cataloging its antiques and gardening with him. Why was I cut out? I called my friend Lila, a paralegal in Mount Pleasant. "They're hiding something," I said, my voice shaking. Lila was blunt. "Dig into the will, Elise. You're not nothing." My parents' dismissal wasn't new. They'd always favored Owen and Victoria. But Lila's words sparked a fire. I wasn't just fighting for money, I was fighting for truth. I started small, building my consulting business, Harper Solutions, from my 1-bedroom apartment in downtown Charleston. I'd been coaching startups for $500 a month, helping cafes and boutiques with marketing plans. My income was modest, $2,000 a month, but I was good at it, boosting client sales by 10%. I invested $1,000 in a website, harpersolutions.com, and business cards, branding myself as Charleston's Startup Whisperer. Lila helped me file for an LLC, and I posted flyers at King Street coffee shops. My first client, a bakery called Sweet Tide, paid $1,000 for a 6-month plan that doubled their foot traffic. I reinvested every dollar, buying software to track client metrics and taking online courses in finance. My family didn't care. At a Christmas party at the mansion, my mom pulled me aside. "Heard you're advising bakeries," she said, her tone dripping. "It's not a career, Elise." Victoria laughed. "Stick to small gigs. You're not cut out for more." I stood tall. "It's not small. It's growing." Their mockery fueled me. I landed 3 more clients, a yoga studio, a bookstore, and a tour company, for $1,500 each, pushing my revenue to $5,500 a month. My Instagram, run by Lila, hit 3,000 followers, showcasing client success stories and Charleston's charm. A local blog, Charleston Hustle, called me the go-to for small businesses, driving inquiries. My first break came at a Charleston Entrepreneur Summit, where I pitched Harper Solutions to local investors. I'd practiced for weeks, my slides showing $66,000 in annual revenue and a 15% average client growth rate. "I don't just consult," I said. "I build success stories." A restaurateur, Claire Nguyen, hired me for $2,000 a month to revamp her chain's marketing, and a tech founder, Ethan Cole, offered $10,000 for a year-long strategy. My revenue hit $8,000 a month, and I rented a small office in West Ashley with a desk and a view of the Ashley River. I hired a part-time assistant, Noah, to manage emails, freeing me to chase bigger clients. Then came the rumor that changed everything. Lila overheard at a legal conference that my family was struggling to maintain the mansion. Property taxes, $20,000 a year, were crushing them, and Owen's firm was losing clients. Victoria's PR business was stagnant, and my parents were considering selling the home to cover debts. I dug deeper, hiring a private attorney, Sarah Klein, to investigate my grandfather's will. Sarah found irregularities, signatures that didn't match, and missing pages. "There's a case here," she said. "You were likely entitled to 1/3 of the estate." The mansion's value was estimated at $750,000, meaning my share could have been $250,000. My family had lied to keep it all. I didn't confront them, I planned. If the mansion was up for auction, I'd buy it. I applied for a $50,000 small business grant through a Charleston Women's Entrepreneurship Program, pitching Harper Solutions as a community asset. I won, using the funds to hire a second assistant, Mia, and upgrade my software. My revenue climbed to $10,000 a month with a waitlist of 10 clients. I saved every penny, targeting the auction. But my family kept doubting. At a cousin's engagement party, Owen cornered me. "Your little consulting gig's cute, Elise, but don't think it makes you a Harper." My mom nodded. "The house stays with us. Stop dreaming." I smiled, my plan solidifying. "I'm not dreaming. I'm doing." My next break came through Clara, the restaurateur. She introduced me to a venture capital firm, Lowcountry Ventures, looking to back female-led startups. I built a pitch: 15 clients, $120,000 in annual revenue, and a plan to scale Harper Solutions into a regional consulting firm. Sarah's investigation uncovered more. My grandfather had drafted a will naming me explicitly, but my parents had filed a forged version. I kept it quiet, focusing on my business. A Charleston newspaper, the Post and Courier, ran a feature on Harper Solutions, calling me the Lowcountry's rising star, and my Instagram hit 5,000 followers. I signed 2 more clients, a brewery and a spa, for $3,000 each, pushing revenue to $16,000 a month. As I prepared for the VC pitch, Lila warned me about my family's plans. "Victoria's listing the mansion for auction," she said. "They're desperate." I wasn't fazed. I'd saved $150,000 and applied for a $500,000 mortgage, using my business as collateral. If Lowcountry Ventures invested, I'd outbid any developer. My family had lied about the will, but I was about to own the home they thought they'd secured. Hey, Revenge Tempest fans. Can you feel Elise's hustle? She's turning betrayal into ownership. Want to see her claim her family's home? Smash that subscribe button and join our squad. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. A year after my family lied about my grandfather's will, claiming I'd inherited nothing and calling me a burden, my consulting business, Harper Solutions, was thriving in Charleston, South Carolina. From a 1-bedroom apartment with $2,000 a month in earnings, I'd grown to a West Ashley office, 15 clients, and $16,000 in monthly revenue. With a $50,000 grant and a $200,000 loan, I'd turned their betrayal into a brand. My parents, William and Margaret, my siblings, Owen and Victoria, and my cousin Natalie mocked my hustle, but rumors of their financial struggles and plans to auction our family's Lowcountry mansion gave me a target: buy the home they'd stolen from me. Harper Solutions was a local hit. Our Instagram, managed by my friend Lila, hit 8,000 followers with posts of client success stories, like Sweet Tide Bakery's 20% sales boost, driving inquiries. A feature in Charleston City paper called me the Lowcountry's startup savior, pushing my waitlist to 20 clients. I raised fees to $2,000 per client for 6-month plans, signing a seafood restaurant and a boutique hotel for $4,000 each. My revenue hit $20,000 a month, and I hired a second assistant, Ava, to handle scheduling, freeing me to chase bigger contracts. I upgraded my office with a conference table and analytics software, projecting $250,000 in annual revenue. My big break came at a Charleston Business Expo, where I networked with regional entrepreneurs. I met Priya Patel, a former consultant who'd scaled a marketing firm to $5 million. Over lunch at Husk, I shared my vision: a Harper Solutions franchise across the Southeast, coaching startups to scale. "You're not just a consultant," Priya said. "You're a game changer. Systemize it." She offered to mentor me for $5,000, and I paid her with grant funds, learning to standardize client onboarding and train staff. Priya helped me draft a franchise plan: 3 offices in 3 years, starting with a second location in Mount Pleasant. The Mount Pleasant office was a gamble, $3,000 a month in rent. But I ran the numbers. 10 new clients at $2,500 each would cover costs and generate $25,000 a month. Clara Egwin, my restaurateur client, invested $40,000 for 5% equity, and I used my loan to equip the space with computers and a client lounge. Harper Solutions Mount Pleasant opened with 7 clients, including a tech startup, bringing in $17,500 a month. Total revenue across 2 offices hit $37,500, and our Instagram reached 12,000 followers, with Lila posting client testimonials and Charleston's waterfront views. A segment on WTV called Harper Solutions, the backbone of Charleston's startups, and my waitlist grew to 30 clients. But my family's doubts persisted. Lila overheard at a legal mixer that Owen's firm was losing another major client, and Victoria's PR business was barely breaking even. The mansion's $20,000 annual taxes were crushing them, and my parents were pushing Victoria to list it for $800,000. I didn't confront them, I strategized. If I could land a big contract, I'd have the cash to bid. I pitched Harper Solutions to a Charleston-based real estate developer, offering a $30,000 year-long campaign to boost their leasing rates. They signed, citing my proven track record, and my revenue soared to $45,000 a month. I saved every dollar targeting the auction. The gossip grew louder. Lila's coworker, a friend of Natalie's, said Victoria was telling clients I was playing entrepreneur and would crash soon. Owen told his golf buddies I was chasing pipe dreams. My parents piled on during a Zoom call. "Elise, we heard you're renting another office," my mom said. "Don't bankrupt yourself." My dad added, "Victoria says the house is worth more than you'll ever earn." I clenched my fist. "I'm not bankrupting. I'm building." Natalie texted, smug, "Nice little business, Elise, but you're not a Harper." I didn't reply. My focus was on the auction. My next move came through Sarah Klein, my attorney. She confirmed the forged will, uncovering a hidden clause. My grandfather had left me a third of the estate, worth $250,000, but my parents had suppressed it. I could sue, but Sarah advised waiting. Owning the mansion would hit harder. I pitched Lowcountry Ventures again, this time for $300,000 to scale Harper Solutions. My deck showed 25 clients, $540,000 in annual revenue, and a franchise model ready to launch. Priya drilled me on cash flow, ensuring my pitch was bulletproof. The VC meeting was set days before the auction, and I prepared to bid $850,000, using my savings, loan, and a $600,000 mortgage backed by my business. Then came a twist. Lila overheard Victoria at a Charleston gala, boasting to Natalie. "Elise thinks she's a big deal with her consulting," she said. "She'll never touch our house." Natalie laughed, agreeing. I stayed calm, channeling my anger into work. I signed 2 more clients, a brewery and a law firm, for $5,000 each, pushing revenue to $55,000 a month. Victoria texted, her tone fake. "Your business is impressive, Elise. Need a PR lead? I'm available." I didn't respond. She'd lied about the will and now she wanted in? My focus was on Lowcountry Ventures and the auction, where I'd raise my hand and claim what was mine. As the auction approached, Sarah warned me about Victoria's plan. "She's pushing a developer to bid $900,000, she said. "They're desperate to keep you out." I wasn't fazed. I'd saved $250,000, secured the mortgage, and expected VC funds. My family had hidden my inheritance, but I was about to own the home they thought they'd locked away. 2 years after my family lied about my grandfather's will, claiming I'd inherited nothing and calling me a burden, I stood in the driveway of our family's Lowcountry mansion in Charleston, South Carolina, holding the deed. My consulting business, Harper Solutions, had grown from a 1-bedroom apartment to 2 offices, 25 clients, and $55,000 a month in revenue. With a $50,000 grant, a $200,000 loan, and $40,000 from investor Claring Gwynn, I'd turned their betrayal into an empire. My parents, William and Margaret, my siblings, Owen and Victoria, and my cousin Natalie mocked my hustle. But with the mansion up for auction due to their debts, I was about to claim it and the truth they'd hidden. The Lowcountry Ventures pitch was my game changer. In their Charleston office, I presented Harper Solutions' success. 2 locations, $660,000 in annual revenue, and a franchise plan for 5 offices. "We don't just consult," I said. "We build Charleston's future," with a waitlist of 30 clients proving demand. The VCs, led by Anita Rao, questioned my expansion costs. I answered with Priya Patel's franchise model, standardized systems and trained staff, projecting $2 million in revenue by year 3. They offered $350,000 for 12% equity, and I signed, my heart racing. That money, plus my $250,000 savings and a $600,000 mortgage, gave me the firepower to bid on the mansion, listed at $800,000 but climbing with developer offers. The auction, held at Charleston's County Courthouse, was electric. My family didn't expect me. Victoria had boasted about a developer's $900,000 bid. I walked in with Lila, my paralegal friend, and Clara, my investor, by my side. Owen's face fell when he saw me. My parents whispered to Natalie, their eyes wide. I bid calmly, countering the developer's $900,000 with $925,000. The room went silent. Victoria's hands shook as the auctioneer called, "Sold to Elise Harper." I signed the deed, my pulse steady, owning the home they'd stolen from me. Sarah Klein, my attorney, handed me the original will, uncovered after months of digging. My grandfather had left me a third of the estate worth $250,000, but my parents had forged it to cut me out. The news hit Charleston like a storm. Harper Solutions' Instagram, now at 20,000 followers, exploded with posts about my low-country comeback, tagging the mansion's iconic magnolia porch. The Charleston Post and Courier ran a front-page story, "Local entrepreneur buys family legacy," and my waitlist hit 50 clients. I opened a third office in Somerville, signing 10 new clients for $20,000 a month, pushing total revenue to $75,000. I hired 2 more assistants, Ethan and Nora, to manage contracts, and Clara's restaurant chain signed a $50,000 annual deal. A feature on WEV called Harper Solutions, Charleston's business beacon. And Lowcountry Ventures offered another $200,000 to scale. My family's reckoning came at a tense gathering in the mansion's parlor, now mine. My mom's voice cracked. "Elise, we're sorry. We didn't know you'd do this." My dad nodded. "We thought you'd fail. You've shamed us." Victoria, her PR firm failing, begged, "Your company's huge, Elise. Need a PR lead? I'm broke." I crossed my arms. "You hid my inheritance, Victoria. I'm full." Owen, his firm collapsing, tried next. "Impressive, Elise. Need a financial advisor." I smiled coolly. "You lied about the will, Owen. I've got this." Natalie texted an apology. "I was wrong, Elise. Can we meet?" I replied, "Busy running a franchise. Book a consult."
The Victory Lap was Harper Solutions' gala at Charleston's Gibbs Museum, packed with clients, media, and VCs. I took the stage, my voice clear. 2 years ago, my family said I was nothing. I said, "Today, I own their past and Charleston's future." The crowd roared, and I caught Victoria's eye, her face tight with regret. I moved into the mansion, keeping its wrought iron gates but adding a Harper Solutions office in the study, open to startups. My parents visited, awestruck, but I kept it professional. "Tours are $15, I said, smiling. They paid. A year later, I stood on the mansion's porch, overseeing 3 offices, 50 clients, and $1 million in annual revenue. Harper Solutions was valued at $5 million, with a 4th office planned in Myrtle Beach. I paid off my loans and donated to a Charleston Women's Business Fund. Victoria took a job at a small agency. Her clients, gone. Owen moved to Columbia, his career shaky. My parents called weekly, seeking connection, but I kept it short. Busy building, I'd say. Lila joined as my legal counsel, her paralegal days over. Clara and Priya toasted my success at a waterfront dinner. "You didn't just buy a house," Priya said. "You bought justice." Success wasn't about making my family beg, though holding the deed felt good. It was about proving Lila, Clara, and Sarah right, the women who saw my worth when I was erased. When they lied about the will, I didn't fight. I built. And when I stood on their porch as the owner, I wasn't just winning. I was reclaiming the truth they thought they'd buried. Hey, Revenge Tempest fans. Did Elise's triumph give you chills? We're all about fierce women and epic comebacks here, so smash that subscribe button to join our squad. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from.